superintendent. We also have several of our board members in the crowd tonight, not that we have a large crowd, and many of our administrators here tonight. So, and also our consultant from Terracon, Nate Roll, is here, our asbestos consultant. So just to give you a little history as to how we are, where we are today, and why we're asking you to come to this presentation tonight and what we're going to be doing moving forward. The district and the Board of Education has taken a look at our two oldest buildings, which is the high school and the middle school, built in the early 60s. And a lot of the building is still from that age of the 60s and in much need of repair. And if all of you have been in our buildings, you know that we have some needs here at the high school and at the middle school. So we have engaged in a renovation project for both buildings, which that part isn't really starting yet. We're going to hope to take bids on that in early August into September. And at that point, we're going to engage into a couple years of construction amongst the two buildings. But before we can do any of that, there is quite a bit of asbestos in the high school and middle school that we have to abate. So that's going to be the first part of our project, which we're going to start here as early as May 4th with preparing for the abatement. In the latter part of May, that process will probably get started. So that's how we're here today. And obviously, there's always some concern about dealing with asbestos. We wanted to make sure that we engaged our parents and let them know that we're taking all the necessary precautions, that the students and staff will be safe here during the abatement that's happening while kids are in school, and also the abatement that's going to happen over the summer. The goal is that this project will be done by early August, and our students will be coming back to school with 98% asbestos-free building. There will be some things that we have to abate during the construction phase because we can't get to them during the actual abatement. For example, we'll still need to use our restrooms next school year. There's going to be some asbestos in some of the pipe fittings that we'll have to abate when we get to that process of renovating the restrooms. But for the most part, we will be asbestos-free in two buildings that were built in the early 60s. So just to give you a little bit of an idea. Okay, Mr. V, I'm hitting the arrow. Okay, just we jump ahead. Give you an idea of the map of the high school. We're going to focus on the high school this evening. We're going to do a separate presentation at the middle school in May. We will not be doing any abatement in the middle school during the time of this school year when kids are in school. It's all going to happen in the summer. But we want to let the parents know what's going to happen in the summer in the middle school and what their students are going to come back to in the middle school when we come back to school in August. But as you can see on this map, you can see a green outline on the section where I have the cursor. This is the south B wing of the building. So this would be where our student drop-off currently is, where the special education and athletic office is located. This is the area of the building here that we are going to abate in May. And it's outlined in green, if you can see it on the map. So what's going to happen is we are moving all of our classrooms that's currently in that area. We're moving those office spaces. The high school administration has already moved them into different locations in the building, and we're going through a whole cleaning process. You'll see by some of the graphics we have on the PowerPoint, we're going through a cleaning process to empty out the rooms, etc. This area of the building will be abated first. Once school is out, we will move down to the wings that are outlined. So more green as we go down here. That's the upper south A wing, the north B wing, and the north A wing. Then we will abate those areas next. There'll be parts of the building during the summertime that's closed to our students. Not that we have a lot going on here in the summer. It's a lot more extracurricular activities that happen in the summer, but we're going to move kids around the building at different times, specifically looking to work on the high school in May, in June, early July, to have most of this done before most of the extracurriculars happen. We have band camp, we have color guard, we have all of our fall sports coming in. We'll make sure that these areas are completed prior to those coming in, or we will make sure that they are encapsulated so students and staff don't enter those areas during the abatement process. But this is just a large map of the high school, and letting you know again, this is the part of the building which we are going to begin on May the 4th, and by Friday, May the 1st, we will have vacated this area of the building and moved our staff and students to other areas. So traffic changes. This is important for parents and students to know. The south entrance, which currently is our student drop-off, which is at the far end of the building, and most of us know that, will be closed on May the 4th. until the end of the school year. The auxiliary gym will also close. That's going to be a staging area, lay down area for us where we're going to be putting desks, filing cabinets, all the furniture and items that we're taking out of that South A wing will come out. The parent drop off, this is important. The parent drop off will be moved to the athletic ramp. Right now, that's where our bus drop off is located. But the parent drop off will then be moved to the athletic ramp. We asked that when we're going to, and I see some people taking pictures and stuff, we're going to post this all online. This is also being recorded, so you know, so it'll be on our website as early as tomorrow morning. We will drop off at the athletic ramp. We ask the parents leave their students in the car until you pull up to that ramp for the safety of the students, not letting students exit the car sooner than when we come up to the athletic ramp. All traffic coming from Todd Lane will have, going to the high school, will turn left, very similar to what we do now. That has not changed. You're going to turn left, but the difference is the cars typically would go in the lane closest to the stadium. The cars will now go in the lane closest to the building. So we can drop off and students will not have to cross traffic going up to the athletic ramp for a student drop off. So that's a big change to what we're doing. Student drivers are asked to walk through the student parking lot to the athletic ramp before crossing. That's the same thing we're doing now, except there'll be more cars in that ramp and less buses in that area. The bus drop off will move to the front of the building. Our buses are either going to come in from Todd Lane or they're going to come in from Baker Road. They'll drop off in the front of the building. Students will walk straight into the cafeteria. All students currently are used to doing that. We hold our students in the cafeteria until 7:20. And then at 7:20, students are allowed to go out to their classes for the 7:30 start of school. But students will be dropped off in the front of the high school for buses, at the athletic ramp for student parent drop off. PM bus parent pickup will remain the same. And as you know, when we dismiss, there are cars everywhere picking up our students here at the high school. Just to give you an idea of the map, if you take a look at the back of the building, which is where the stadium is located, you will see that we're going to put our student drop off at the athletic ramp where it says parent drop off. The X is where the south entrance currently is located. That will no longer be used whatsoever for entering or exiting the building. And you will see the front where the bus drop off is in the front of the building. Whereas the traffic is still going to remain in the flow at which it goes now. Coming in from Baker Road, you're going to stay left. Coming up from Todd Lane, you're going to go left. Traffic will continue to flow around the building just as it does now. We're just moving the drop-offs based on what we think is going to be best to get our kids into the building safely. And it's never been optimal here at the high school of moving traffic, as all of you know. It gets backed up. It's a lot of cars that come on campus between 7:15 and 7:30 and a lot of buses. So who knows, this may even give us some future things to look at because I know we've talked about it for years. But that's going to be a major change. Mr. Vukovic and Dr. Hartzell are going to talk to the students about that. And this will be posted on our website, and we will make some more Parent Square phone calls that will go out prior to school on May the 4th, reminding everybody of our change in the traffic pattern. Safety precautions. And we do, like I said, Nate from Terracon is here. We will make sure that we have airtight hard walls that are going to separate that south end of the building, the south A and B end of the building, and plastic will be built to secure the area prior to any abatement. May the 4th, they're going to move in. They're going to start building the walls, building the encapsulations. We think probably a week to a week and a half before any abatement even occurs, but we're going to make sure that that is going to be as secure for all of our students and all of our staff as well. We will have air testing done daily. Each day, air testing will be done to make sure that we are safe and none of the asbestos is getting out of the enclosed area, which we're going to be abating. Additional announcement will be made when the abatement begins, so we'll let you know exactly when they're telling us we're going to start abating tomorrow. It's not going to be May 4th, but when they're all situated in here, then we'll start the abatement process. Office relocation. So if you're looking for staff that you're used to being in the south end of the building, in the office, which is special ed, the South B Wing office will be moved to the following areas. Mrs. Park, our special education offices, will be moved to the business office, which is the entrance is right in front of the baseball field. You'll come up that main sidewalk where the district office is to find Mrs. Park and Mrs. Melchior in the special education department. Mr. Chacon, our athletic director, is going to move to a conference room located in the high school office, which is the main entrance. And Mrs. Martini, registration secretary and the athletic secretary, also going to be in the high school office. And our school psychologist, if any, we need to see him and we have usually those are by appointment only. He will be moved to the guidance office during the last month of school beginning on May the 4th. A classroom cleanout, April 24th is our senior project day here at the high school. We have made some arrangements with the schedule. There'll be some of our teachers that currently are located in the South B wing. They will not, have to participate in that day. There'll be cleaning. May the 1st is an Act 80 day for the district. We're allowing all of our staff to take that day to clean in the middle school and the high school, pack boxes. We provided all those for our staff and our staff, taking things home that are personal. And this is going to be a 3-year process as we renovate these buildings. But this process comes first. Then we'll let them move back into these classrooms, and then we'll be moving back out of these classrooms again when we start the renovation process. May 26th through the 28th, that's the last week of school for underclassmen. If we still need additional time for cleaning, we're gonna run on a 2-hour early dismissal schedule during that time. That's tentative. We haven't decided that, but that it really doesn't affect a lot that's going on based on the fact that we have final exams going on. We're going to run on a 2-hour dismissal, but we'll announce that. That is just tentative. We just want to let people know that we are considering doing that if we need so. I'm guessing we will not. We're going to have some seniors. This is a great opportunity for a lot of our kids that need senior project hours. They'll be helping with cleaning out. We have some helpers on the 24th, on the 1st, just some basic information. You're aware our students are going to be assisting us with this too, and gaining senior project hours along the way that they need. Future construction, just to give you an idea of what things are going to be like moving forward. The abatement completed by the opening and service day next year when our teachers come back. What we need to realize is our students are going to come back to a building that's going to look already under construction. There will be many classrooms who do not have ceilings. There will be classrooms that will not have floor tile. It's going to be cement. We even have some asbestos about 3/4 up the wall on several of our classrooms that those may be open, all depending on how we abate that area. So we're going to come back to a school that looks like it's under construction. Very similar, if any of you lived through the Todd Lane project, and this is going to be very similar of what the building is going to look like as we move into construction in August and September of next school year. Staff will give our staff time to set up their classrooms. They're anxious about this too. It's going to be different for them. They're moving out of them. They're going to move back in them. And like I said, at some point down the road, they're going to move back out of them again. That process is going to happen twice. And the construction phase of this project is expected to begin somewhere during the 26-27 school year. We're currently in the design development phase. Don't hold me to this, but some of the things that you're going to see in these buildings based on where we are now in the design process would be classrooms building wide are going to have all new lighting, all LED lighting. Classrooms in building wide will have all new flooring, brand new doors inside and out, classroom doors, security doors. We're going to be creating secure vestibules in all of our buildings, specifically here in the high school, in the main entrance, in the district office entrance, in the middle school, that we don't have a secure vestibule in that area. We'll be creating a secure vestibule in that area. Windows, painting, all of our bathrooms will be completely gutted and renovated. So it's going to be a significant change and a much improved change. And ultimately, it's going to be an improvement for all of our kids and staff. Air conditioning, the buildings will be air conditioned, new heating, cooling systems, new air conditioning systems. So we will have further parent presentations as we know more as we go forward in this process. But we wanted to make sure we at least brought parents and staff, anybody that wanted to come in tonight, hear what we're going to do. We'll post this online. And when we get further down the road with the construction process, we will have public meetings to let everyone know what we're doing, how we're doing it, how it's being funded, et cetera. So that's a quick presentation. I hope that I hit all the points. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anyone may have concerning where we're headed here beginning May the 4th at the high school specifically. Yes. This will be a full asbestos removal to the point at which we can at this time. So as I mentioned, there will be things that we can't get into right now, but we will find those as we go into the construction phase of this. We'll abate those at that time. Mm-hmm. At any point, Nate, go ahead. Come on up to the microphone. They'll hear that.
So each containment will need to be final cleared before it's allowed to be reopened. That involves visual inspection by a building inspector. And then we'll also be doing air sampling via TEM analysis to make sure that everything has been removed. There's actually an ASTM standard, which involves going in, white glove, testing that every bit of dust inside the containment is removed. As far as outside of the containment, as Sean said, we'll be conducting air sampling the entire time that the project is ongoing. Those results will be read on site the same day. So if there is any issue, we will know about it right away. And we will also have a monitor on site the entire time to watch the containment, make sure that there's no breaches or anything like that. Does that answer your question?
Like the white fence, I don't know if that's actually required, but the air sample has to be on the plastic.
Well, there's a wipe sample analysis that we could do. It's generally not required, and it's kind of overkill for this situation.
It's in tile, it's in ceiling tile, it's in floor tile, it's in some fixtures, it's in some plumbing, piping and insulation around plumbing fixtures. Well, yeah, if we, should we, I'll answer that. Should we run into a situation where we have a negative test, we will shut down that area immediately, remove our students from that area, stop abatement immediately until we find out what the situation may be. Explain how you blow the air. He'll explain how we push the air into the containment area.
So this has all been regulated since the 80s. The general process is that they construct a containment around the area so that there's only one exit in and out. And then they use negative air machines, which are basically large vacuums that pull air through the containment and filter it and then release it outside. So what this does is it creates a negative pressure atmosphere inside. So during the entire work process, no air is going out of the containment. It's all coming in and then being filtered and then released.
Any other questions for Nate? Yes. Yes, 100%. If we have a negative test, we will notify parents of what we may have found or didn't find, and we'll let you know when we find it cleared and when we're going to go back into those areas. Yeah. Well, we're not going to notify. We know we have the asbestos. I think the question is, should we have an escape of the encapsulated area? We would certainly inform parents that occurred. If that's what you're asking me, I'm not sure what you're asking me then. I don't know if I'm understanding your question, but the reason we're starting it now is because of the window of time at which we have to complete the project before kids come back to school. We have to start while kids are still in school towards the end of the school year. But the high school has more asbestos than the middle school. It's the bigger part of the asbestos abatement. And we have more space in this building at which we can relocate that entire wing to a safe area of the building and allow them to put the I keep saying encapsulation, but the containment area secure and would not affect anything going on in the building.
Beat that August deadline.
Yes. Right.
Graded one student, why would we start it while we're still in school?
We would either have to start it while they're still in school or when we come back to school in August, because we don't have enough time to complete a project this size during the summer break, the window of the summer break. No, I don't believe that would be the case. I think either way, we're going to have an area that's completely closed off, whether it's in August or whether it's in May. I don't think we're going to be abating less asbestos at the end of the project than we are at the beginning of the project, if that's what you're asking. Well, the goal is not. Yeah, I don't disagree with that at all. We don't want anyone to be exposed, but we're confident with the precautions at which we're taking. It's very common in this industry to be abating asbestos in buildings at which they're still populated, whether they be schools, business, offices, et cetera. That's why we are completely relocating everybody in that part of the building. And I hope I'm answering your question. Okay. Yeah. To set up, get equipment on site. Yeah.
Getting them all in. So if it goes until a little bit, a couple of weeks, the middle of August or the end of August, isn't it safer if our kids are just not here?
Yes, that part of your question, yes, it's definitely going to be safer if nobody's in the building. I would agree with you, but we don't have enough time because once we have the school, the classroom has to be completely empty. We have to have time to set the school back up in order for students to go back in, move all the stuff that we moved out. And I'm just talking about the one area this evening. We're going to abate the whole building. So we looked at all those considerations that you're mentioning. And the concern was we were unable to get this done from June 1 to August 10th. We needed another month of time somewhere in there to do that. And speaking with our consultant and the contractor, that it makes the most sense to start the process, to at least get the beginning here at the high school, because we can relocate students in this area. Yeah, well, I think that online would be an option should we have a problem. But I don't think that online education is as of quality of face-to-face education. I think if there's parents that aren't comfortable with this situation, I think we could probably meet with the administration and come up with some ways to create an online environment virtually for that period of time once the actual abatement starts. And I really think it's going to be under 10 days of school when they're actually abating during May, by the time they set up, and they're going to work some weekends, et cetera. But we don't know until they get in here and give us the exact start and how long it takes them to do that. But this is just their predictions as to how long it's going to take them to get set up and when the abatement starts. I'm predicting 10 days is what I'm predicting. I don't know that for certain. Well, I think if we have some concerns, we would permit that virtual option for students and parents that have concerns. If that answers what you're asking me. The safety of our staff and students are 100% the top priority in this whole process, as it is every day here in school. It is. And I can assure you that none of us, meaning administration and our school board, would make these decisions to begin if we had any doubt in the process that we have in place, that there would be any worry about safety. Oh, no. No. No, I said 98%. Maybe I need to clarify that. I said 98% of the asbestos in the building will be abated during this time. There still will be there's asbestos in this building right now as we sit. None of it's been abated, but it's not exposed. It's not open. So but when I say 98% of the asbestos will be removed during this summer window. There still will be some abatement that needs to be done during construction. I'm not saying that 2% of this isn't going to be secure. I'm saying there's still going to be abatement that happens during construction. We can't get it all now because specifically the restrooms, the insulation that's around the fittings of the pipes needs to be abated. But if we did that, then we can no longer use our restrooms all school year next year. So the 98% is just, there's going to be 2-3% of the asbestos left in the building, unopened, safe. We'll abate that when that time comes to gut those restrooms and do the renovation.
It's also the area that we're gonna get separated west of the entire service. With soccer and then it's gonna be. No, it didn't weird that stop.
How will we open that door? Because it would stop the exposure of COVID, having that closed off. You still have a chance of risk of some of that asbestos escaping through. By the time we find that it's an effective test, it's already too late.
Well, we're going to test every day, but pre and post each day, we're going to test the air quality. In the morning and then, and I don't know if you can test throughout the day or at the end of the day, but it's going to be tested every day to make sure that we don't have any escape. Well, I mean, I could make those available. Yeah, we can make our tests. But I assure you, we have contracted with Terracon that that's going to happen every day. Terracon is our boots on the ground and representing the school district. He's not the contractor doing the abatement. He's here to protect the interests of the school district.
The air handlers, ductwork, they be placed or are they gonna be sealed up?
They will be sealed up. Mhm. Unfortunately, that time of year, we don't have air conditioning. We don't have much air movement going on in this building in May. Other questions? Yes. No.
When are they going to address that?
We're going to address that during the renovation phase. So we will have different areas at which containment areas that we're going to have to close off during renovations. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes. It won't be dangerous asbestos because it won't be opened up. It's there now. We just can't get to it until we do the construction part of it. Yes. Yes, we have a plan. We have facilities that will be open. The gymnasiums are not going to be affected by the abatement process, and there will be a way to get to the gymnasium through the front of the high school, right down the hall. Same with the middle school gymnasium. Fortunately, a lot of our fall sports happen outside. We have volleyball that's inside, we have cheer that's inside sometimes. So we have a plan. There will be some restrictions on some of the activities that typically happen here in the summer. Mr. Ciccone, our athletic director, has already informed all of our coaches. We're going to utilize Center Grange and Todd Lane more than we typically would in the summer. But the goal is, not to restrict the ability of our kids to prepare for the next school year with safety in mind. Okay? Yes. Tell me that. Nate will answer that question. I don't know the answer to that.
So it is technically a pass fail. What we do is we take air samples during the abatement, and then at the end of the day, we read them. And what we compare that against is the air clearance standard, which is basically whenever there is an asbestos abatement done, air tests need to be done inside to make sure that there is no remaining asbestos. That's the standard we compare our outside samples to. And if it ever goes above that standard, then we automatically start the process of, improving containment procedures. We would get in the school, and that would be the kind of, yeah, exactly. Shut down and fix it, basically. So. Typically we take a 8-hour sample and read at the end of the day. We could modify that if it would make parents more comfortable. We can do 4-hour samples, whatever we need. There is obviously a lag time between collecting the samples and reading it, but unfortunately there is no real-time monitor for asbestos in the air. So. Terracon. We're an environmental consultant. We're not actually allowed to do the abatement itself. But I honestly, I'd have to talk to the door. That's the abatement
Sure,
company.
asking what, how many negative tests that the contractor has had in their history. I could try to find that out. I mean, it's a very large company, but I can try to find that out. Yeah, I'll ask that question for sure. Mhm. Mhm.
I'm more about like accessing buildings. Things of that, those things.
Well, that's certainly a part of why we're doing the project, is to create a more secure environment here, specifically with entrance and exits to the building in the vestibule areas. So we have secure holding areas before people get in and out of the building, which we will create that in both it's very similar to what we have at Todd Lane and Center Grange, will be created at several entrances here and at the middle school main entrance, which is at the lower parking lot. Yes. Yes, for sure. For sure. Yes. And like I said, this won't be our only meeting that we hold concerning construction.
And
No, we asked that question. I mean, there will be some sound, but the location at which are abating is quite a distance from any of the other classrooms or the next adjacent wing. We're not concerned with there being any sound disturbances in the building during education. It's the farthest away from anywhere we could abate in the building is this South B wing. Specifically because of the long corridor that it takes to get from there to the next wing and there down towards the main hallway near the district offices. So we don't have that concern. Yes. No, those spots will still be available with them. Mhm.
We'll have on the two, the worker.
Yeah. They're gonna have to, instead of going to the south entrance, you got to come down to the front of the building. Any other questions? Let me just assure that, the number one priority, as I said, as it is every day in these buildings, is the safety and security of our students and the safety and security of our staff. We can't learn if we don't have an environment in which students and staff feel safe. And there's a lot of factors that go into doing things like that. This is something that's unique. It's not something that happens in schools on a regular basis. And we certainly would not venture down this road if we didn't feel we are prepared and we're going to provide that same safe environment that we do every day during this small window of time in May. But if there are other concerns, I welcome you. You can contact me, phone, office. I'll be happy to sit down and discuss any concerns you may have moving forward. And the same with the administration. Yes. No, just the cleaning and moving of furniture started. Those processes have started. Yes. The planning and so forth. Well, the planning's been going on for over almost a year now, but the moving has started in April. And the move back is going to happen over the summer and in August prior to the start of school. Any other questions I can answer for you? Again, I'm welcome to having further discussions. Please don't hesitate to reach out, and we will post this on our website. It is streamed tonight. The recording of the whole presentation and the conversation will be on the website. And should you have further questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. And I appreciate you coming this evening. Thank you.